Excellent. Thank you. So we are going to talk about the SMART way to set goals. And I've found this great little chalkboard. And so we're going to talk about specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound. So in the SMART goal setting in 5 easy steps, you'll see how they go through every piece of it. And I want to talk about each of these points and leave time for questions. So I just wanted to give you the whole overview, and then let's jump right into the specifics. So specific or significant means well-defined. In other words, it needs to be clear to anyone that has a basic knowledge of the project. A good question to ask yourself is, can you be detailed and focused, not vague? What you need to do is state exactly what you want to achieve or accomplish, and that is the who, what, where, why questions. Something to consider would be, can your goal be broken down into smaller steps? And people fail at being specific because their goal is too vague to be motivating. Measurable or meaningful is knowing if the goal is obtainable and how far away completion actually is. A question to ask would be, how will you demonstrate and evaluate the extent to which the goal has been met? So what you need to do is establish clear definitions to help you measure if you're actually reaching your goal. You want to consider, do I have the energy to carry out this goal? And people will fail at this if they lack tracking and measurement. And this needs to be in place from the start of the project. Achievable or attainable means that there's agreement with all stakeholders as to what the goal should be. You want to make sure this is possible for all levels within your working group. A good question to ask yourself is, are you stretching? Another good question is this goal attainable in the not too distant future? So what you need to do is describe your goals using action verbs. You need to outline the exact steps you will take to accomplish your goal. You need to consider, can your goal be tracked and accounted for? Let me go to the next slide. And one last point here would be, people fail because they overreach or they have a lack of buy-in from all stakeholders. Goals must be assignable to specific individuals that have that skill set, or to, if you're team-based, to 2 or 3 people that are working together to collaborate to come up with, probably a better result. Realistic means that within the availability, and sometimes resources are limited at most companies today. So you need to have the knowledge and the time to reach your set goal. A good question to ask yourself is, do you have the resources and time to tackle this goal? Another couple of R words that I like are relevant and rewarding. And so you need to think about, how does the goal tie into your key responsibilities? In other words, how is it aligned to your objectives? What you need to do is give yourself the opportunity to succeed by setting goals you'll actually be able to accomplish. You need to be sure to consider obstacles you may need to overcome. You should also consider that realistic goals are challenging yet attainable within a given time frame. And the reason people fail is lack of time and resources. So time-bound, also I like to think of trackable under this T. And that means that you have enough time to achieve the goal. question to ask would be, have you set clear deadlines for achieving your goal? What you need to do is think about how much time do you have to complete the task. You need to decide exactly when you'll start and finish your goal by setting one or more target dates. That's the by when. Use your target dates to guide your goal to successful, timely completion. So that includes deadlines, dates, and frequency. You need to consider, will it be easy for you to respond to changes if required? And people fail because they have time frames that are too aggressive and or not realistic. So, to recap the SMART goals, you want to be specific, measurable, actionable, realistic, and timed. So, at this point, I want to go to questions. So, let me just look at one quick thing. Okay, just checking my time. I also just want to do a quick, marketing plug for Virtually Here. We can help organize you. We work with databases. We work directly with your clients. We will help you stay on track. We are marketing professionals with combined, I don't know how many years of experience. Check out our website. And we are actually creating a new website, so you'll soon be able to see enhanced, sections. But if you go there right now, you can see photographs, titles, descriptions of what each of us at Virtually Here are responsible for. So let me check the question area and see what has come in. Okay. I have two questions that I'll answer first, but I would invite you now to type your questions into the chat panel, and we will answer those as well. So the first question comes from Tony. He says, how can I establish clear definitions? Well, I would say start with structure. You want to act with intent, and you want to be very clear in your communications with everyone on your team. Next question comes from Sarah. She says, how do I delegate tasks? So, Sarah, I would recommend that based on your top 2 project needs, you want to put people on that project that you trust and just give them the work. Do not micromanage them. Let me see if there are other questions here. As I'm waiting for any final questions to come in, I've just put up the website. Go check it out. As I said, I organize, produce, do the email blasts from your lists, and can produce webinars of any nature. You can give me content, and we can work together to do it. We have another question from David, and he asks, can Virtually Here help me learn to delegate? Absolutely. I'm just laughing because that is a very hard thing to learn to do, but I think it's based in trust. And if you have hired good people, if you have done the hard work of identifying, do your work first as a hiring manager, figure out the skill set you need. Be very specific. I would say hire not based on skills, but hire based on relevant knowledge, because certain people are not going to know the exact program that you're using, but if they have learned other programs in the past, they can probably get up to speed and learn the specific in-house proprietary tools that you're using. So, you know, culture is very important. You want to pick the person that is going to fit within your organization. But I think more than anything, there just has to be a good rapport. You have to know that you can hand something off and feel confident that the work is going to get done. So if there are any other questions, please send them in. I'm going to check one more time here. Okay, I don't have any other questions, but if you think of something after the webinar has concluded, feel free to shoot an email to the person who you received the webinar notification from is Jacqueline Davis. She's the owner of the company, and her email address is JLD, that's Jackie Lynn Davis, JLD, at virtuallyhere.net. So I would like to thank you for attending. I want to mention that our next webinar topic will be on Wednesday, September 24th at 2 p.m. and we're going to be focusing on LinkedIn.com. I love LinkedIn. I'm a power user. I'm an all-star. I believe LinkedIn is the most powerful online professional resource. So if you're interested in attending, please sign up when the email invitation lands in your inbox. Feel free to share it. We love getting you know, as many people on these webinar series as possible. So thank you for attending, and this concludes today's webinar. Have a great afternoon, everyone.